appearing on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Trace Gallagher has the latest on, well, what we learned. Trace.
I know, we were told security guard Jesus Campos wanted his privacy. Instead, he gave Ellen his version of what happened. Campos said he was on the 31st floor of the Mandalay Bay when he got a call about a door left ajar on the 32nd floor. He climbed the stairwell, but the door leading into the hallway was jammed, so he took the elevator. As he made his way towards Stephen Paddock's room, he noticed the door to the stairwell had a bracket holding it shut. That's when he called for maintenance, and the hotel sent Stephen Schuck. That's also when Campos believes he got the attention of Stephen Paddock, because at first he heard drilling sounds, then the rapid fire of gunshots. Listen to him.
At first, I took cover. I felt a burning sensation. I went to go lift my pant leg up, and I saw the blood. That's when I called it in on my radio that shots have been fired. And I was going to say that I was hit, but I got all over my cell phone just to clear that radio traffic for they can coordinate the rest of the call.
About that time, maintenance worker Stephen Schuck was coming down the hall. Campos says he told him to get down, and Schuck says he could feel the compression of the bullets flying by him. Schuck believes Campos saved his life. But there were no questions by Ellen asked about the timeline or the clarity of the timeline, which has changed 3 times. Police first said Campos diverted the gunman's attention, causing him to stop firing on the crowd. Then later said Campos was shot 6 minutes before the shooting on the crowd began, and then finally said Campos was shot within 40 seconds of the mass attack. It remains unclear exactly why Ellen was chosen for Campos' one and only interview, though we can tell you MGM, which owns Mandalay Bay, sponsors Ellen's show and has Ellen's slot machines in all of its casinos. Neil.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Trace, very much. So, well, does this interview then change anything? Fox News anchor, former defense attorney Greg Jarrett. What do you think, Greg?
It helps the plaintiffs in their lawsuits against the hotel because Campos says he called immediately. And the shooting didn't happen, according to Las Vegas police, for another 6 minutes thereafter. And it took almost a full 20 minutes after Campos first reported it for Las Vegas police to arrive. By then, it was all over. So the plaintiffs who are suing for negligence are going to say better security that acted more quickly to respond to the shooting could have saved lives and diminished the casualty count. And they'll have expert witnesses on security who will say that. Plus, they'll say there should have been unbreakable glass in the hotel. There should have been an inspection of the room after, let's say, 12 hours of a do not disturb sign on the doorknob. And they should have had more bag checks, especially a guy who's bringing in enormous amounts of weaponry in 10 different bags, and yes, over several days. But they will argue that other hotels with better security would have caught him.
All right. Now, Steve Wynn, the Wynn Resorts, he has a much tougher, screenings and all, even for guests prior to this incident at Mandalay Bay. But it's always easy to play the Monday morning cop, but that's what lawyers are going to do, right?
It is, and they'll call Steve Wynn as a plaintiff's witness because of what he's already said on television. And look, he has credibility. This is a guy who, for 40 years, developed much of Las Vegas. He set
You're talking about
the standard.
Steve Wynn, right?
Yeah, Steve Wynn.
Right.
He set the standard for security in Las Vegas at many of the hotels and casinos. He's the first guy who installed security cameras on every gaming table. So when Steve Wynn talks about security, he's got credibility and probably in front of a jury.
Do you think, Greg, we do have a clear timeline? We're not just getting it right now. That between cameras, not only on that floor, but in the casino, outside the casino, the woman who was seen with Paddock the night before, that there is a clear video trail here, at least as to what he was doing and when.
There is, and the fact that Las Vegas police, didn't get the timeline right the first time, and I understand why they didn't. My goodness, it's frantic and frenetic in the days and hours afterwards. It's hard to get all your facts together right away. People make mistakes, but the plaintiffs will try to exploit that, saying don't trust the Las Vegas police when they tell you how things occurred because they just couldn't get it right from the very beginning.
All right. Great. Thank you very, very much. Good seeing you, my
pleasure.
friend. All right, well, here's a worrisome development. Not so much the so-called surprise that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is calling the U.S. a bully, but that